The most asked question of the weekend was, did you see Barbenheimer? This, of course, refers to the double weekend premiere event that saw both Barbie and Oppenheimer hit theaters last Friday. Combined, the movies did get, they raked in $220 million in weekend ticket sales across North America. Not everyone enjoyed both movies. However, Ben Shapiro, the conservative TV host, had this reaction to the movies.
Well, folks, I just got back from the theaters seeing Barbie and Oppenheimer. I'm about to review both of them. I'm going to tell you which one of these is the best blockbuster of 2023 and which one is maybe the worst.
I bet he loved our movie, right, Ken?
For those of you who can't wait that long, I'm going to give my review of the Barbie movie in the most Oppenheimer fashion.
What the Run.
So that was a little disturbing.
Honey, I have to go burn dolls in the park.
So I guess I liked Barbie better than Ben Shapiro, at least. Maybe that won't surprise anyone. I didn't know that I would necessarily like it, but I thought it was. So I saw them both this weekend. I did Barbenheimer with my wife and a group of friends. I did a sort of Oppenheimer-inspired dark black jacket
That's
vest
also
thing.
what Ken wears, Robbie.
I was going for
also
Oppenheimer,
wears
not
all
Ken.
black.
Does he?
You got tricked.
Well, in the movie he wears a lot of.
Your wife is very smart. She got you in the Ken outfit without you knowing.
I don't know if that's what she was going for. Anyway, I thought Barbie was decent. It was, and what conservative people are complaining about is that it's quote unquote woke because it does. And in all fairness, advance a very, I think, liberal feminist message. There's a lot about mild spoilers. Like the Barbie world where the Barbies live is run by the Barbies, by the women, and like a lot of the conflict of the movie comes from realizing that in the real world things are run by men, which a paradigm that appeals to Ken, played by Ryan Gosling, when he figures out this is the way it is, tries to like reorient Barbie world in a more male-centric way, and that is portrayed as like straightforwardly ridiculous and evil. Like at best, it's clownish. It's in a way there's like a fight for like male civil rights or something in the Barbie universe that is just played for laughs and is so anyway it does have a very feminist message, but it looked kind of cool, and there was way too many monologues toward the end about girl empowerment for my taste, but whatever, the movie's not for me. It's fine. I enjoyed it just fine.
Yeah, I think
you didn't see him yet though.
I didn't see it yet. I think it's interesting that so many conservative male commentators are just like, this is the worst movie ever, which is a very like funny reaction because they're embodying the exact comical reaction that was commentary literally on guys like Ben Shapiro, of them saying like, oh, it's so ridiculous that Ken wants, equal rights. It seems to me that they're literally exemplifying why this movie is such poignant commentary on gender roles in our society. I do take issue with the fact that Barbie has to be a CEO, lawyer, president, doctor, baker, and all Oppenheimer has to be is a guy who killed a bunch of people. Similar
spicy.
But Barbie did make more money. $155 million for Barbie, 80.5 for Oppenheimer. I think some people are upset about that.
I certainly see why Barbie maybe appeals to more people. Oppenheimer is a very heavy film, so I liked it a lot.
Also 3 hours.
Yes, it was long. It was long. I recommend, if you're going to see them, I actually do recommend seeing Barbie first, because after you see Oppenheimer, you don't want to see another movie. You want to just kind of like contemplate, man stealing fire from the gods or something. It was a very good movie. Christopher Nolan obviously made the movie. It has Cillian Murphy playing J. Robert Oppenheimer, the creator of atomic weaponry in America. Cillian Murphy is an actor who's appeared in a lot of other Christopher Nolan projects, often in kind of side roles or interesting villain roles. He's the Scarecrow in the Dark Knight trilogy. He's a fantastic actor. A lot of people know him from Peaky Blinders, show I've only watched some of. He's fantastic. He's so good. This is not my favorite Christopher Nolan film. I had a couple issues with it, but overall, I think it's very good. So much better, and it's nice to see Christopher Nolan, a director I really like, redeem himself after Tenet, which I did not like. That was the last Christopher Nolan film. It was the bullets move backwards film. I maybe it has fans out there. I thought it didn't make any sense, and also I couldn't even understand it. The background noises are turned up so high you can't even understand what the dialogue is, which Christopher Nolan has kind of indicated he likes. He wants the film to be an experience, to you to feel the vibrations of the sound or something, which does happen in Oppenheimer. I mean, it makes more sense in Oppenheimer because it's about the development of this all-powerful, awe-inspiring weapon of mass death and destruction. There's a lot of time jumps in Oppenheimer that I'm not sure were totally necessary, and it's long and does a lot, but it is very, very good. Some really terrific performances. But you're saying prospect. You think it's glorifying violence or something. Is that what that comment was geared toward? Maybe
a little. I'm scared of the fact that you said he wants people in the theater to really experience the movie.
Not to experience
That's a little frightening, Rob.
Well, no. So there are a lot of scenes of Oppenheimer contemplating the kind of horror they've unleashed. He has a lot of flashes of seeing people suffering radiation and scarring and burning and alive. It speaks to, I think, in a historically accurate way, after the bombing of Japan, Oppenheimer's subsequent turn toward his unwillingness to be involved in the hydrogen project to develop even more powerful bombs, his attempts to persuade policymakers to work toward international cooperation to restrict how many weapons are out there. But yes, he is very. In the Los Alamos project development of the weapon, he is very in favor of developing it, and other scientists have some reservations, and he, allows them to be raised, but says it's so important that America develop. Either America's going to develop these weapons first, or Nazi Germany is. So we should not have any qualms about going forward. His role in helping to select the targets in Japan is explored. The movie also goes into, which I didn't know as much about this aspect of Oppenheimer, that he had much earlier in his career, he did have left Communist Party ties, that his brother, his wife were actually members of the Communist Party in America. They sent money to people fighting in Spain. And he's very clearly interested in left ideas early on, and then becomes less and less interested in them, and that's very interesting.
Yes, he was just focused on his work of creating the bomb. Didn't have much time for reading Marx after that. I think it's good that culturally you have this film where for 3 hours, many Americans are going to sit and consider the morality of war. I think that's a useful cultural exercise. And so I think it's a good film because not everyone is going to go out and read Just and Unjust Wars by Michael Walzer. Instead, they will watch Oppenheimer and think it through for themselves. That's good. I will say, to take a step back from the content of the films and talk about the movie industry as a whole right now, people seem to want fresh content. They don't want the next live action of a cartoon movie we've already seen. They don't want more, continuations of Star Wars movies produced by Disney. I
just don't want them produced by Kathleen Kennedy because she's ruined it. I would love new Star Wars movies if someone who knows what they're doing could, write the stories for them. But continue. I interrupted you.
I'm sorry. I think it shows that people just want the new stuff. They don't want the same stuff done by people who maybe do it worse than the people who used to do it. And at a time when you have actors and writers on strike, and these movies making so much money, and all of the folks, Margot Robbie, the entire cast of Oppenheimer, supporting the SAG and the writers' strike, I think that's huge in the greater conversation we're having around AI writing films, who does the labor to produce the films, who makes the good work. You need the talent in order to make the money off of the movie. Without the talent, there is no movie. And so I think it's an interesting moment where folks who have taken our streaming and our media in a really bad direction, where you have folks, AI images being used without their permission for, the rest of their lives. You have promotions for New Girl. You just had the main actor who plays the guy Nick, whose name I don't know, Jake something. Mm-hmm. He posted about an AI image created of himself to promote New Girl that he didn't consent for. So there's all of these questions surrounding the Barbenheimer release. I think the film's doing so well adds more weight to that movement.
Yeah, although a lot of this whole kind of Barbenheimer promotion is ground up, right? It was not cooked up by any public relations department. It was social media took this and ran with it, which I think is kind of cool. Yeah, I've said as for the strike, there's so much content right now on streaming services that I haven't had time, and I have to imagine I watch a lot of television. I'm not sure I would notice that there's no new stuff for like 2 years if they go, because there's so much content I want to catch up on. Yeah. There are old things I want to watch again, and there are new things I would love to watch that I just don't have the time for. There's only 24 hours in a day. So that's what I suspect is going to be the weakness of the writers and the actors' position, is that there is a glut of content. And I think it's going to be a while before anyone's like, oh yeah, there's no new stuff being made. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I just think the fact that they're losing so much money thanks to the strike. I heard something like $600,000 a day. That's a lot of money.
Who? The studios are losing? The studios
are losing.
Well, the streamers aren't. Are people unsubscribing from Netflix right now? Are people unsubscribing from Hulu or all those? I don't think so.
They haven't called for a boycott, and I'm not sure that they will, but there are some big shows that are just not being made right now and are being delayed, like the one that everyone watches, Stranger Things,
right.
I've heard is delayed.
Yeah, but again, this is the paradox of the streaming system, right? Because nobody knows what Stranger Things value really is, because you don't pay for Stranger Things, you pay for Netflix, right? So it's hard to understand, like if people are unsubscribing and they're not going to pay for Netflix because there's no new Stranger Things, yes, that impacts, but to what extent that's offset by the massive cost of producing Stranger Things is hard to tell. That's what I'm saying. It's, again, I don't know, but it seems to me like that's what people are missing in that because you're not paying for the thing, you're paying for a subscription library that has tons and tons and tons and tons of available content already made.
Well, Netflix knows. Netflix has the data of who's subscribed.
But they're not profitable, right? They lose tons of money every year. So
it's true. Maybe we have to go back to cable, Robbie.
I don't want to do that. I like things the way they are. All right, tomorrow on Rising, Jessica and I will be back right here at the Rising Desk to bring you more coverage of Barbie and Oppenheimer and nothing else. It will be just 10 segments on that. Sorry. Kidding, of course.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any content. And for those of you who like to listen while on the go, we're now available anywhere you listen to podcasts.
See you later.
Bye, Robbie.
Bye, Jessica.